AI is subverting everything, and the escalation of geopolitical conflicts is not a drastic activity. Confusion is probably the most common emotion now. Just a few days ago, Buffett gave a rare, in-depth interview with CNBC. Last year's shareholders' meeting was thought to be a dead end, and many people thought that the legendary stock god would not appear again. But this time, the 95-year-old man came out of the mountain and talked about the market, risks, and human nature. The amount of information is far greater than expected, and I will try to distill 5 core gains for you. If someone knows the future, then he must be lying to you, turning on your phone every day. All experts are analyzing where tomorrow's ups and downs are. But Buffett said that no one knows what the market will do next, and I am no exception.
I don't think I know what the market is going to do. I have no idea what the stock market is going to do. I don't think anybody else does either.
The market is a complex system of tens of millions of greedy and fearful souls. Short-term fluctuations are completely random. If a person really knows the future, is it not good for him to secretly make money by himself? Those who swear every day that they tell you what tomorrow will be like. The real motivation is your attention, and you benefit from it. Most of their analysis is just a narrative, telling the past with a reasonable and well-founded story, giving you a false sense of control over the future. But that's not a prediction, it's a performance. Since it is impossible to predict, Buffett's answer is that you don't need to judge the rise and fall of the market tomorrow. What you need to judge is how much a business is worth today. And second, don't be a trader and be a holder. Let's look at a figure of $350 billion, which is the total amount of cash and short-term treasury bonds that Berkshire Hathaway maintains today. Recently, the global stock market has been turbulent, and the US stock market has fallen, and everyone is wondering if Buffett is going to buy the bottom. Buffett's answer is very calm. This decline is not at all. In the 2008 financial crisis, the S&P 500 fell nearly 57%. And in the 2000 dot-com bubble, the Nasdaq plummeted by nearly 80%. What really makes him take action is never the magnitude of short-term price fluctuations, he said. When these companies are attractive to us, we will make a move. What is a real opportunity? Imagine an earthquake suddenly. In the chaos, someone threw a gold brick as a stone on the side of the road. You go over and pick it up, which is called an opportunity. And buying on dips is just the boss of Jindian telling you that the market has been bad recently and the price of Jindian is 95% off. Have you discovered the essential difference between the two? One is the value at the cognitive level, and the other is the price fluctuation at the transaction level, which is very different. Every day, countless investment banks pitch projects to Buffett, but he usually refuses in less than 15 seconds because the other party wants to make a deal and Buffett wants to hold a business. American Express has held it for more than 30 years. Coca-Cola has been in power for almost 40 years, and Occidental Petroleum is expected to be held for 50 years. Wealth does not come from predicting price fluctuations, but from the growth of holding value. The third priority is not to earn, but to survive. $350 billion is waiting for an opportunity. But don't forget that opportunity only belongs to survival. Buffett said, I always want to hold cash because I need to be prepared for anything that may happen. And he mentioned a risk that is often overlooked in banks. The banking system is very strong in some ways, but extremely fragile in others, and the root of the fragility lies in trust. It is trusting the bank not to collapse, and the bank lending money is to trust the other party to repay it. The entire financial system is a building block tower built by new people. As long as everyone believes that the tower will not fall, it will be as stable as Mount Tide. And once the panic spreads, everyone starts pulling out their own blocks. A run happen. JP Morgan Chase processes up to $10 trillion in transactions every day, and a large number of transactions are unsecured. This is the fragility of the system. On the one hand, it is powerful and efficient, but precisely because it is efficient, all links are closely connected. One falls, all have to fall. Buffett uses dominoes to describe it. Once it starts to fall, the speed is much faster than you think. Therefore, Berkshire's principle is to hold a huge amount of cash. Try not to touch long-term bonds. Make money maybe by holding office, but living must rely on cash.
The host also asked Buffett, what do you think of the current hot AI? He is very honest. I can't understand it.
And I enter the game too late. If I can't understand it, I won't touch it. This is the heartbeat that Buffett has practiced all his life. So what does it mean to understand? For example, many people at Apple think that Buffett's investment in Apple has broken his principle of not investing in technology stock. But in Buffett's eyes, Apple is not a technology company. Apple is a consumer goods company. Technology companies need to study chip manufacturing and AI algorithms, but consumer goods companies only need to study users. Buffett said he doesn't look at earnings reports. Instead, he went to the furniture city to chat with customers to see what mobile phones they used, and he found that once you use an iPhone, your photos and contacts are all in Apple's ecosystem. Users can't change it, and they can't do without it. This is Apple's real moat, and he dares to bet heavily after understanding this. He used the same method 60 years ago when American Express was mired in a salad oil scandal and was facing a crisis of bankruptcy. Buffett went straight to ask local restaurants and travel agencies and found that everyone still trusted the check of Amex, and Buffett immediately understood there may be a problem with the company's books, but his core asset trust has not been damaged, so he is blind. Buffett's role is never based on a popular concept, but if you really understand the essence of business, you can do it within your circle of ability. No matter how lively the world outside that circle is, it has nothing to do with you. The master does not know more, but knows the boundaries of his own shots better. The end of all risks is runaway humanity. In this interview, Buffett mentioned multiple risk areas: unpredictable markets, fragile banks, Epstein's scandal, and even the nuclear threat. The bottom layer of these systemic risks is actually a thing, and why the human market cannot predict, because it is composed of thousands of irrational souls. Once it fluctuates violently, fear will flood like a flood. Why does the rational bank collapse? Because as soon as the panic spreads, everyone reaches out to pull the blocks at the same time and step on it. Buffett also mentioned the Epstein incident, and those elites who seem to be extremely smart and successful turn out to have human weaknesses that they cannot overcome, just like ordinary people. Even Buffett's pessimistic prediction of the Earth's lifespan of only 500 years is not because of the nuclear weapons themselves, but because the truly unpredictable is always the person holding the button. Greed, fear, irrationality, the lens of arrogance, and all systemic risks is human nature out of control. So, when you evaluate a business or a partner, don't specify data. It depends on what kind of people are standing behind it, what choices they will make under extreme pressure. You can never predict the explosion of human nature, but you can choose what kind of humanity you can walk with. Finally, if we summarize the views of this wise old man and fall into personal actions, it may be these 3 points. First, don't pretend that you know the future. Second, leave bullets for what is really worth it. And third, leave a way out for yourself at any time. Knowing the intention is difficult in this era, changing too fast, and there are new outlets and new anxieties every day. We are always afraid of missing out and being eliminated. But Buffett told us with his life experience of a century. The times are changing, but the essence of creating value remains unchanged. And the tools are changing, but the bottom of human nature remains unchanged. I wish you can see the trump card of business clearly. Keep the rationality of human nature. Maintain a sense of awe in the fanaticism. Wait for that real mirror in anxiety. Pay attention to Liu Run and lower the cognitive threshold of business.